hopes na you will be a famous singer-songwriter someday.
Filipinos love music.
Music is an expression of our culture. We use it to really promote what is Filipino, what is our culture. Dapat the music industry should really take part.
More people listen to musicians than to politicians.
According to them, about 300 billion or 6.2 billion US dollars are generated from the music industry.
Music ang humuhubog sa ating kultura.
Vocabulary of a culture that is expressed through songs that speak of our spirit.
Pagdating naman sa biggest differences that I could see between generation namin nung time ng Accelerate and generation ng P-pop ngayon, masasabi ko malaki ang advantage ng mga P-pop groups ngayon because they have social media. Yan ang isa sa, hindi ko naman sinasabing walang social media before, but napakalakas ngayon ng social media. Hindi mo na kailangan ng mga TV networks, not necessarily kailangan mo maging artista and all. You can go live by being part of a P-pop boy group or girl group at kaya mong mabuhay through the internet sa lahat ng social media platforms. Napakalawak ng inyong maaabot through social media. Makakwento ko lang pagdating nung 2009, 2010 yung nirelease kami as Accelerate, we have like 100,000 followers. That was a big deal back then. And now, millions and millions are watching these boy groups and girl groups from the Philippines. And I'm really proud na umabot tayo sa ganito pagdating sa P-pop.
Spotify in their report last year said there are 10 billion streams in Philippines alone. But we saw some reports that it's actually up to 30 billion already by year 2020.
Of course, there's really this global trend that's started with J-pop and K-pop through the years, no? And then that inspired a lot of artists here in the Philippines also to put up their own like pop groups. And I think in the 2010s, early 2010s, that started. So we've had a lot of talent already starting in those years. In fact, some of them will also be part of the festival. We are also connected online. These artists were able to really spread their music, come into their own sound, their own Filipino-ness. And as long as they're still posting their content online, these fans who see their content, they engage a lot with these groups. And that's why the support, while the support grows, the passion of the artist also grows, and they create more content. They come up with new songs and more groups debut. And as they keep popularizing P-pop, these artists also start incorporating more of our Filipino sound, our regional languages.
That music is integral to not just culture but to the economy. There's a creative economy that we are in that contributes, as you saw, billions to the bottom line, to the GDP of the Philippines, and the government has recognized that.
Market for K-pop turned Filipino doesn't stop there, as 2021 welcomes the launch of other P-pop groups, BGYO and Beanie, launched by ABS-CBN Star Music, and Alamat, launched by Viva. And while institutions are preparing for this emerging market, the masses have already embraced it, with OPM hip-hop or Pinoy rap rising to mainstream.
The fan base of the P-pop groups are solid. Kumbaga buhay yung industriya, which is I'm really happy. Daming fans ng P-pop. Even the brands are acknowledging P-pop as something to invest on. Dati kasi they don't really see the whole P-pop industry. It's so foreign that people don't like it. Pero ngayon, tanggap na tanggap na.
It's still a young genre. Despite us being original and all, you can't really say if it's a failure or a success because it's still too soon to decide that.
Here's the thing about all of Asia, but Philippines in particular. Asian artists copy American music, okay? It's been going on for decades, okay? English artists copied American music too. That's how the Beatles became the Beatles. If you ask any of the Beatles back in the day who their influences were, they would say Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis, Little Richard, all those people. But they twisted it and made it their own. Right now, Asia is at the tipping point. They've copied long enough. They are tipping it. We've seen it with Korea, with K-pop. They're tipping it to make it their own sound. And I guarantee you, in the next 5 years, there's going to be some superstars come from Asia. They are borrowing from America, but they're making it their own. And that's what's going to happen.
Ang iba't ibang mga K-drama series. The K-pop wave in the Philippines started after the rise of Korean novellas in the country, with the introductions of musical acts such as Super Junior and Big Bang. ang pag-alis ng lokal na aktres na si Sandara Park sa bansa at ang kanyang pagsali kinalaunan sa Korean girl group na 2NE1 ay naging dahilan din kung bakit lalong sumikat ang K-pop sa Pilipinas. Since then, maraming K-pop artists na rin ang sumikat, hindi lamang dito, kundi sa buong Southeast Asia.
Before K-pop, we had some up-and-coming Filipino artists. The best-selling Asian girl group for 11 consecutive years before K-pop became mainstream was a Filipina group called Sex Bomb Girls. The Sex Bomb Girls walked so 2NE1 could run, so Blackpink could sprint. And best believe that Filipinos had an impact in the major success of K-pop groups. The dancer teams that brought in millions of views on music videos and sold-out concerts were originated by some Filipino choreographers like Shawn Evaristo, Amy Lee Lucas, Brian Puspos, and Keone and Mari Madrid. When industries trust our work, we have proven that we can sell.
K-pop 팬 수를 따지면은 3순위를 한다고 하는데요. 이처럼 K-팝이나 K-드라마가 필리핀 분들에게 인기가 많은 이유가 무엇일까요?
아무래도 요즘 K 문화가 전 세계적으로 인기를 끌고 있는 것도 사실이고, 그러다 보니까 필리핀이 멀지 않은 위치에 있는 나라이기 때문에 더 자주 접하고 한국인이 필리핀에 자주 가니까 그것만큼 한국의 접촉이 좀 많이 돼가지고 많이 접하게 되는 것 같습니다.
If we look back on the first attempts on the year 2010 onwards, we are already actually influenced by Western, Korean, and Japanese culture. Dahil yan sa mga grupo tulad ng Chickser, Pop Girls, Gimme 5, Boy Band PH, at Accelerate. Gayon din, masasabi nating we are on the rise of a new era of P-pop idol groups.
P-pop or Pinoy pop is a type of music originating from the OPM genre, original Filipino music. One iconic P-pop group from the 60s and 70s I know is the Apo Hiking Society. 1980s would be the golden age of Filipino music. So I think this is around the time when the very iconic and famous song Anak by Freddie Aguilar was released.
P-pop refers to Philippine contemporary music na nagmula sa OPM at hango sa iba't ibang genre ng musika. The genre of P-pop today is still yet to be defined, but if we base it on its etymology, Pinoy pop, this genre goes way back the 1960s. 1960s with Pelita Corrales and Nora Honor, with their songs that are usually in ballad form. 1980s with VST and Company at ang pagsikat ng Mr. Pure Energy, Gary V. Mula 1990s hanggang ngayon, kasama din natin ang mga biritera at solid rock acoustic bands gaya ng Eraserheads, Parokya ni Edgar, Moonstar 88, Regine Velasquez, Shasha Padilla, at I'm a Little Momshi, Jolina Magdangal.
Filipinos have tried every way to break into the music industry.
Noong taong 1997, ang Eraserheads ang kauna-unahang bandang Pinoy na tumanggap ng MTV Asia Viewers' Choice Award na tinanghal pa sa New York.
Eraserheads from the Philippines.
Mabuhay ang Noipi! Sa tagumpay na ipinakita ng ultra-electromagnetic pop, unti-unting binigyang pansin ng buong recording industry noon ang umuusbong na Pinoy alternative rock scene noong dekada 90.
Siguro masasabi ko sila yung nag-spearhead ng another band invasion during the 90s. Nung lumabas sila, ang daming nabuksang pintuan para sa ibang banda. So nung lumabas yung Eraserheads, halos lahat ng record company nag-sign up ng kanilang Eraserheads.
We do have Filipinos making it big in the music industry. Olivia Rodrigo, whose debut album Sour had the biggest opening week for an album by a female artist on Spotify with over 385 million streams. At 39 years old, Filipino songwriter Robert Lopez made history. He is not only the youngest and fastest person to ever win an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, or an EGOT, but he is the first person to ever win each award more than once, founding the double EGOT. Robert Lopez composed Remember Me for Pixar's Coco, as well as Let It Go and Into the Unknown for Disney's Frozen, to name a few. Take Bruno Mars, one of the best-selling musicians in the world, with 7 #1 singles. He attained his first 5 faster than any male artist since Elvis Presley. He acknowledged his Filipino roots on Saturday Night Live, giving the show its second-best ratings that season, and paid tribute to his Filipino mom, not only during his Grammy win, but also his Super Bowl halftime show performance. And there's the queen of classic Disney princesses, Leia Salonga. After becoming the first Asian woman to win a Tony Award, she went on to become the singing voice behind Jasmine and Mulan. And Disney has come full circle with the first Southeast Asian princess, Raya, through Raya and the Last Dragon, which also brought us Disney's first ever Filipino language song, sung by Kazzaa Tandingan. Even Disney is starting to embrace Filipinos. While Vanessa Hudgens in High School Musical played a Latina American character, Olivia Rodrigo, who is mixed Filipina and plays Nini Salazar Roberts, calls her grandma Lola. And that's at least something from Disney.
Tinaas ng P-pop idol groups ngayon ang kalidad ng group performances at audiovisual branding. Uy! Big word! One of the major influences of this is adapting a training system while being handled by a Korean or Japanese management.
Important concept of Korean idols is the concept of yeoljong, which is basically passion and determination combined. So a lot of the idols that na super, sikat, really are burning with passion. Willing ka bang mag-sacrifice? Willing ka bang maging disiplinado? Willing ka bang, to do all of these things to get to your goal?
Ang proseso ng aming training is katulad lang din ng ginagawa ng sa K-pop, which is yung everyday may dance, singing, vocal training, sama-sama sa isang bahay.
So obviously the K-pop system is only exists in Korea. It's not only dance and singing, but also may performance, acting, how to deal with the camera, how to act, how to deliver your feeling to your audience through the camera.
Parang almost 12 hours a day. Para silang nag-work 8 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 12 hours a day. Yung rehearsal nila, that's every day yung generation ngayon ng P-pop.
7년 동안, some idol은 이제 7 years. Some idol 5 years. 그거는 가장 중요한 이유는 연습 기간 동안에 그 친구의 인성을 보는 겁니다.
Our country doesn't really have concept of being an idol. Therefore, wala rin tayong sistema kung paano natin sila iti-train.
Ang training po, yung dapat perfect talaga. Kunyari, yung linya ng nyo sa sayo, isang ganyan, walang makagawa.
So, kailangan pantay-pantay.
Pantay-pantay.
Yeah, sobrang hirap.
Tapos, everyday may schedule. Kunyari, 8 to 10, singing, ganon. Talagang naka-fix siya. Singing, dancing, hanggul. Ano po talaga. 12 hours training.
Oo.
Tapos may time na kamote na lang yung kainin namin. Ganon. Kamote,
Kamote,
itlog.
tofu.
Kasi, kailangan mag-diet.
Sa diet, kailangan po namin i-maintain yung weight na gusto nila. Think po yung time na andyan na yung depression, iiyak ka na lang mag-isa.
Every week po meron po kaming evaluation. Tapos doon po sa evaluation na yun, nababawasan po lahat ng trainees hanggang sa natira po kaming 5.
Kailangan ko rin sacrifice yung time ko for family. Yun nga po, parang pagising ko sa umaga, tulog sila. Pag uwi ko, tulog pa rin sila. So parang ganun. Ganun yung routine namin. So hindi na kami masyado nakakapag-band masyado.
Kailangan po kasi lahat ng galaw namin pare-parehas. Kumbaga, kung may step na 1, kailangan hindi ganyan. Kailangan sabay-sabay kami na ganyan yung step namin. Pag may hindi parehas, ulit. Pag may hindi pantay na block, ulit. So, doon po pumapasok yung parang intensive, talagang yun po yung Korean intensive training system.
Give up a lot of things po for MNL40. Kung hindi siya pumasok sa isip ko na, ay sayang, mas matimbang po siguro yung for me ngayon, yung pamilya at pangarap ko.
Nagugulat po yung katawan namin kasi hindi po kami sanay na ganito yung ka-intense yung workout, yung nag-workout habang kumakanta, yung stamina training, and we've also experienced Korean training for 3 months, and it was also something very different to us.
At dapat po talaga may chemistry. Kumbaga, hindi lang chemistry ng sayaw, kanta. Yung pag-uugali at syempre yung suot, kailangan medyo similar po talaga.
She sometimes sets up a formula as to how it should sound because the massa like it. But even the masses today are exposed to what's out there, and they're open to receiving anything new. They might not support it like the way they do the popular music, pop music, but you have to be true to yourself and express yourself in the best way. And if you're a musician and if you're a songwriter, I'm guaranteeing you that's the best way to do it. You don't hurt anyone. You're just expressing yourself.
Artists could be catalysts
to change.
Filipinos don't need to reinvent anything. We've been here from the start. It's just time that the music industry recognizes it.
Pretty bullish in saying this, that we can very well rule the Asian entertainment scene.
I think if Filipinos really focus on creating good original music, that's what's going to help us stand out in the mainstream music industry in the United States and globally.
The industry, to realize that it's so huge, we can still come up with our own in different genres.
Sa lahat ng paraan, masuportahan ng music fans, masuportahan ng music industry para yumabong ang musikang Pilipino.
We aspire po talaga na maging role model po sa mga young Filipino po like us or sa mga kabataan pong katulad namin.
My ultimate dream is, of course, to bring back real music, real OPM.
I want our singers to sound like they're the best in the world, you know, compete globally.
It's so tempting to do world music immediately without contributing something from where you are. And what we're trying to show here is, you know what, to be international, you gotta be local.
Whatever the music scene is today, sana mabaliktad. More interest in new OPM.
Always aim to apply the Filipino traditions and the culture with our music and everything we do. Yung goal namin, gusto namin na lahat ng Filipinos, tangkilikin natin yung sariling atin.
Sana gusto ko marinig sa radyo ng Pilipinas yung Filipino-made songs.
I hope that the industry allows them to express themselves with the originality that they have in them, in the form of the music that they write.
We can really be leaders. We have so much talent. We have so much to say.
The role of the singer-songwriter is to either tell the story, share the story, or inspire someone to create a new story.
It's not just escapism, it's also taking stock of what we are as, you know, as a people and as human beings.
Kung meron kang gustong i-impart na bagong idea, pwedeng through music, hindi lang dito pumapasok, pero mismo sa heart ng ulit.
Being idol po kasi is parang salita po na ina-admire ka talaga ng mga tao. I think naman nakakapag-inspire kami kasi minsan may mga supporters po kami na sinasabi, alam mo, pag taas-taas na ng grades namin dahil sa inyo, kayo po yung nag-lift ng confidence namin, kailangan mo talaga mag-set ng standard.
We have the privilege to influence people. Obligado kami na mag-instill ng positive vibes.
Kilalanin ng buong mundo ang musikang Pinoy.
As industry players and consumers continue to embrace Filipino sound, American labels will eventually have to catch up too. And it actually starts with us, the Filipino community. Our artists will only be as marketable as we allow them to be, with our support, our ears, and our money. Engage with their social media, stream their songs, share their music with your friends, especially your friends outside the Filipino community. For us to make it big, we need to expand past our own. Let's break the cycle that this isn't possible.
It's the turn of the Filipinos to actually be felt, seen, and heard across the world.
General goal namin, ito siguro suntok sa buwan, pero lagi po namin sinasabi kay Robin na parang gusto talaga namin through music or through OPM talaga maiingat yung economy ng Philippines. Kasi ganyan yung nangyari sa Korea. Kumbaga nagsimula sila sa yung mga pop groups nila, ganyan. To the dumating yung point na talagang nag-export na sila ng ano nila. Tapos kilala na yung mga K-dramas nila all over the world. Yung parang yung mga turista para lang mapanood yung mga concerts nila, talagang lumilipad papuntang Korea. Gusto po namin na dumating yung point na parang makilala yung OPM all over the world na tayo naman yung dadayuhin ng turista. Alam niyo po yun. Ang dami pang magandang lugar dito. Ang daming talented Filipino. Yung ma-highlight po yung talagang arts and culture ng Philippines. Tapos may pakilala kung ano talaga yung kaya natin. Pag dumating yung point na yun, I think sobrang laking tulong po sa bansa natin yung ganung bagay. Kasi sobrang rich po ng culture natin eh.
JBT just already 16 years. 5 years ago, I'm established in the Philippines is the branch, the JBT Philippines. We use TV5, our TV program, Aja Aja Tayo. And another is focusing is to make an idol in the Philippines. SB19 is my first idol.
Hello, my name is Charles Kim and I'm the CEO of JBT Philippines. In this video, please allow me to share with you our story and some of our current endeavors. SBT Philippines 2015. We are part of SBT Group of headquartered in Korea and headed by our founder and chairman Robin Jung, also known as Tatang Robin here in the Philippines. We started as an event management company back in 2015. Since then, we have been producing various events such as K-pop concert and events where we promote culture collaboration between Korea and the Philippines. In 2016, we've decided to venture into the entertainment business. In the same year, we launched an audition to search for potential talents who would then be the first idol groups in the Philippines trained under the K-pop system.
At 2016 po, yung company po namin which is SBT Philippines Corp po, nag-held po sila ng isang malaking audition po. Naghahanap po sila ng mga talented Filipinos na gustong maging professional performers po.
Our initial goal was to produce and launch a boy group and a girl group at the same time. However, due to some difficulties, we opted to start with the boy group first. There were more than 100 people who auditioned, and we have selected 30 talented Filipino boys and girls to be included in the training program. They were called Nara, which in Korean means country, and is the national tree of the Philippines. We have selected 3 boys from the training program who we felt will be the next big talent in the Philippines. They were Sejun, Stell, and Josh. We then added Justin and Ken as we felt that they will complete the group and create the perfect synergy.
Matapos ang halos 2 taon na pagtitrain, sina Sejun, Josh, Stell, Ken at Justin ang napili para buuin ang grupo na SB19 mula sa body conditioning, dance training, vocal training, pati na disiplina at ang pag-aayos sa kanilang sarili.
그래서 처음에 이제 my strategy는 그 친구들이 코리안 아이돌 퍼포먼스 할 때 같이 이제 무대에 올리는 거죠. together.
SB19 went through lots of hardships in their initial years, from their training up to their debut. There was a time that they started to have doubts about their future as a group, but with much patience and perseverance to pursue their passion and dreams, they were able to go through these difficult challenges, and now they are one of the ambassadors of Pinoy pop or P-pop to the world stage. Of course, this would not be possible without their fans and supporters. We thank you, 18.
Yeah, we gonna go up. Kahit ilang beses pang matumba. Yeah, we gonna go up. Nangarap ng bukas mga mata, yeah. Lumakad ng may tubog sa paa, yeah. Lahat ng iyong pagdududa, bakbak ko parang kagaruda.